Hello and welcome to Pokemon Lair. Today we'll be unboxing a box of 10 Pokemon cards I sent to Professional Sports Authority or PSA over a year ago, and they finally got back. They ship them to you in this nice little box, professionally packaged so they don't get any damage in shipping. Then we get them unboxed and we'll see what grades I received from PSA. Let's go. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Nidoqueen, a Holo number 12 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, you can see that there's no damage. The Holo looks really good in this video. Our centering looks pretty good from top to bottom, but from left to right it's a little to the left. And looking at our corners and our edges, they look pretty clean. I don't see any damage there. Let's take a look at the back, and the back looks pretty good. And on the surface, looking at our centering, the centering looks a little to the right. And looking at our edges and our corners, I see a little damage on the upper right corner and possibly the lower right corner. And that's going to give us a nice grade of near mint 8. Pretty good. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Victreebel, the number 32 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, there's no scratches, bends, or damage. Our centering on this card is a little to the left, but top to bottom looks really good. Our edges and corners look pretty good. I don't see any damage there. Looking at the back of the card, I don't see any damage to the surface, no bends or creases. Our centering from top to bottom and right to left actually looks really pretty good. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think there's a little damage on the lower left, and I think that's it. That's going to give us a grade of mint 9. Not too shabby. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Pidgeot, a Holo card, number 14. Looking at the front surface of this card, the Holo looks really good in this video. I don't see any damage up to the front of the card. Our centering from top to bottom looks pretty good, and side to side looks really good. Our corners and our edges, I don't see any damage that I can find. Looking at the back looks really clean. I don't see any damage there. Our centering looks not too bad, maybe a little off to the left. Top to bottom looks pretty good. Looking at our edges and our corners, the edges look really clean. Our corners have slight damage on the upper and lower right and lower left. And that being said, we get a grade of near mint 8. Not too bad. See you next time. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Butterfree, a number 34 card. The front surface of the card shows no damage to the surface, no bends or creases. Our centering is really good from top to bottom and left to right. And finally, our edges are nice and clean, and so are our corners. Moving on to the back, you can see that it looks really clean also. The centering is really good from right to left and top to bottom. And our corners and our edges look really clean and crisp. I don't see any damage there. And our result is a grade of Gem Mint 10. Nice. I like it. Like it like that. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Raichu, the Holo number 16 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, I see no scratches on the Holo surface. It looks really good in this video. The rest of the surface of the card looks good. Our centering from top to bottom and side to side looks really good, and our corners and edges, I don't see any damage to them at all. Let's check out the back. I don't see any damage to the surface of the card. The centering looks really good from top to bottom and side to side. Looking at our corners and edges, the corners look pretty good, and our edges, I think there's a little damage to the top right edge of this card. And that's going to produce a grade of mint 9. Awesome. Nice for a Raichu. 9. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Dewgong, the number 36 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, I see no damage, creases, bends, or anything else. Looking at our centering looks really good from left to right and top to bottom. And our corners and edges are really clean. I don't see any issue there. Flipping to the back, you can see that it's as clean as the front. There's no damage to it. Looking at our centering looks good from right to left and bottom to top. And our corners and edges are really nice and clean. I don't see any damage. Then that's pretty good. And our grade for this 2000 Dewgong is a Gem Mint 10. Awesome. A 20-plus-year-old card, and it's a 10. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Venusaur, a holo number 18 card. The front surface of this card looks really good. The holo looks good in the video. Looking at our centering from top to bottom doesn't look too bad, but from left to right it's a little to the left. And our edges and our corners, I don't see any damage there. I think they're pretty clean. Moving over to the back, you can see that the surface looks really nice. I don't see any damage there. Our centering from top to bottom looks really good, sort of side to side. Going to our edges and our corners, our upper left corner and lower right corner show slight damage. And that's going to give us a grade on this Venusaur of near mint 8. Not too bad. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Dratini, the number 38 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, I don't see any damage, creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from top to bottom and side to side look really good. And our corners and edges, I don't see any issues there. I think this is going to be good. Looking at the back, I see the surface looks really clean. I don't see any damage. Our centering from right to left and top to bottom look pretty good. And looking at all our corners, I don't see any real issue there or the edges. It looks pretty clean. And we can check the grade is near mint 8. What? That should have been a better card. I think that should have graded at least 9, if not a 10. Our grading review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Zapdos, the holo number 20 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, you can see that it looks really clean and crisp. There's no damage to it. The holo reflections actually look good in the video. Our top to bottom and side to side centering looks pretty good. Our corners and our edges, I don't see any damage on them at all. Looking at the back, you can see the surface looks really clean. No problems or damage there. Looking at our centering, it doesn't look too bad from top to bottom and side to side. Might be a little to the right. Looking at our corners and our edges, there is a slight damage to the upper right corner. And that'll make us get a grade of mint 9. Nice, I like that. Our grade review of a 2000 Pokemon Game Base 2 Farfetch'd, the number 40 card. The front surface of this card shows no scratches, bends, or damage. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right looks pretty good. And our corners and our edges have no damage that I can tell. Looking at the back of this card, I can see there's no damage or any problems with the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right look pretty good. Looking at our corners and our centering, I see that there might be some slight damage to the upper left corner, but it's very slight. I wonder if that's going to affect the grade. And our grade is going to be a mint 9. That little speck of damage on that corner must have affected the grade. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my reviews and my reveals. Remember, you got to catch them all.